Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video, guys. And so this one's going to be a good one as I'm going to do my week 4 predictions. That's right. And so if you want to see how I've done in other videos, definitely do check them out and see how I fared so far in those. But I mean, so far this season has been filled with surprises. I mean, a couple shout outs to a couple teams. I mean, the Las Vegas Raiders, going to start off with them. I mean, currently 3-0. I mean, they've been really impressive. Couple hard fought games that went down to the wires, but they showed, particularly Derek Carr showed that he can be clutch when they need him to be. In this Raiders team, they're finding ways to win. And so, yeah, got to give John Gruden some credit with that one. I mean, yeah, he's doing a great job with the play calling, and I like what I'm seeing down there from Las Vegas. For sure. Another shout out right now that I'll go ahead and give to an AFC team right now. It's got to be the Denver Broncos. Although with the Broncos, my only thing is, I guess, just some of the teams that they've beaten so far, but obviously you can't control your schedule and all like that. But from what I'm seeing so far from that defense, and I will touch on that Broncos defense a little bit more when I do their matchup against the Ravens, but my goodness, that defense is playing lights out. And I like how Teddy Bridgewater looks right now for the Broncos. So those are two teams that are certainly catching my attention in the AFC. And now in the NFC, you got, obviously, what the Rams did with that big win over Tampa Bay. I mean, I said it before the season started when I did my projection of the Rams. I had them going 14-3, and so far, I'm liking that projection. Another projection that I did in the same division was the Arizona Cardinals. I said that the Cardinals are going to be a playoff team this year. And so I know a lot of people said there's no way that was going to happen. Division's too tough. What about Seattle? All those teams there. But Cardinals right now may not have always been pretty, but they're 3-0 right now. So shout out to them. Also, Carolina Panthers as well. Got to give them a shout out for being 3-0 right now. Although I know they're losing Christian McCaffrey, that could mean some trouble. But let's go ahead and get on with these picks here. So first up, the Thursday night game that we all, I'd like to say that we all been looking for, but it does feature two of the top quarterbacks that we've recently seen come out of college football. That's right, Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars will be going against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. So Cincinnati, I've seen 2 good games out of them. 2 of the 3 games I saw, they look really good. They've shown me that they can fight with teams. They've shown me that. I mean, yeah, they had a bad game against the Bears, but when you're a young team, you're going to have some bad games. But I tell you what, being a Thursday night at home, primetime game, Joe Burrow and company, I mean, he's got receivers. He's hitting them in stride and stuff. Joe Mixon, he's running hard out there. I like what I'm seeing from this Bengals unit. And from the Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, I'm just not seeing enough right now. But that's the case with a lot of teams that have rookie quarterbacks, so that's expected. But so far, like 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. 7 interceptions, that's a lot of turnovers and stuff like that. You're not going to win ball games if you turn the ball over. I've got Cincinnati winning. I think the final score is going to be along the lines of Bengals 27, Jaguars 17. So I got them winning that Thursday night matchup. Next up, we've got the Titans versus the Jets. So when I think about the Tennessee Titans, first thing that comes to mind is, Derrick Henry, King Henry, as I like to call him. I mean, when he gets running, I mean, my goodness, he's like a freight train that's, just going downhill. There's no stopping this man when he gets going, and that's going to be the case here against the Jets as well. But I will say this for Jet fans. I mean, the fact that A.J. Brown is looking like he's not going to be able to go for the Titans. That's what it's looking like as of right now that this video is being made. Obviously, Julio Jones, that's up in the air. But if Julio doesn't play, now you're going to have to rely on guys like Josh Reynolds and stuff to try to get them going and see what you can do throughout the air. I know Ryan Tannehill, he's been sacked. There's been a couple games that he just hasn't looked as great as he's normally been with the Tennessee Titans, although I don't expect for that to last. But with that being said, this does present an opportunity for the Jets to play more 8-man in the box if Julio Jones is not able to go as well and they're without their 2 top receivers. But as of how things are going right now, I still got to rock with the Tennessee Titans here. And I'll go Titans win with the final score of I'll go 29-13. I'll say the Jets actually do get some points in this one, and they'll score 13 because the Titans, their defense is basically, the secondary's been giving up a lot of points, a lot of yards and stuff like that. And so Zach Wilson, I think he'll have a game similar to what we saw week 1. I know Corey Davis, he's going to want to have some revenge on his old team, but it's not going to happen. Titans win. Colts going down to the Dolphins. I think this was going to be an extremely close game. I know that Jacoby Brissett is in at quarterback for the Dolphins, but guess what? He used to play for the Colts. And not only did he play for them last year as a backup, he started the year before that, and they benched him in favor of old man Phillip Rivers, in which that was a good move on their part. But if you're Jacoby Brissett, maybe a little bitter about how things ended there, because you were supposed to be the guy to take over when Andrew Luck retired. And yeah, they replaced you after 1 year. So, but for the Colts, it's going to be a matter of, getting Jonathan Taylor and company going. Carson Wentz, can he get comfortable, give him some time and stuff like that? Now, we know that Dolphins defense, they're still good. They played the Raiders extremely close with Jacoby Brissett. I seen Jacoby Brissett show some wonderful poise, but the Colts, they're 0-3 right now. Their backs against the wall. So I think that the Indianapolis Colts are going to find a way to win this game 28-25 down in Miami. Although I feel like that game could be very well vice versa. But I think the Colts find some way somehow to win this game. Houston versus Buffalo. Well, Davis Mills, yeah, he's going to be in for a rude awakening against this Buffalo team. This Buffalo team has looked really good right now. And I really like what they're doing with what they were to do offensively, especially throughout the passing game. I believe they've thrown 7 touchdowns to just 1 interception this year. About 63% completion. But what I'm seeing, how they picked apart that Washington football team defense, that's enough of a case right there for me. Allen, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, he had a big game. So, yeah, give me Buffalo in that one. I'll say final score of Buffalo, I'll say Buffalo scores 40, Houston 19, 40-19. All right, so here's a good one. The Ravens versus the Broncos. Oh, man. Baltimore, we saw what Lamar Jackson was able to do against the Kansas City Chiefs. That was obviously a big win for them right there. We seen what they were able to do last week against Detroit with that long 66-yard record-breaking field goal made by JT. I know he got a little banged up after that. But, hey, what a kick that was, But the fact is, the Denver Broncos right now, they're 3-0. You're going down to Mile High. That's really tough right there. I mean, just from the home field advantage that they have down there to just the defense that they're playing with. I mean, Lamar, he's great. The Ravens, they're able to run the ball. They really are. But this Broncos defense, I'm telling you, this Broncos team, they look really good. I like how Teddy Bridgewater's playing. But I think that this one's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be really close. It's going to come down to which team's going to have the ball last and be able to get down, I think, for a game-winning field goal. I think that the Denver Broncos are going to find a way in this one to win this game. I'm going to go 22-19. I think Lamar Jackson's probably going to have 1 or 2 turnovers in this game, and ultimately that's what's going to decide the difference there. But I know Rashad Bateman, I think he's getting close to getting off of IR sometime soon, so some positive news with Ravens there. Would not be surprised if Baltimore won that game, but I'm going to go with the Broncos at home in this one. All right, so the Monday night contest, we got the Raiders versus the Chargers. My goodness, what a matchup here. Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, 2 teams that are playing absolutely fantastic right now. I mean, you got the Raiders at 3-0. I mean, they've won so many close games, but the Chargers, they were able to go down on the road at Arrowhead Stadium and beat that Kansas City Chiefs team. Now, I know the Chiefs defense wasn't fantastic, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Justin Herbert. I'm liking what I see from the receivers the Chargers got. Both Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, all those guys. I do like that a lot. I think this game's going to be a very good one for Monday night. I'm thinking the final score is going to be Chargers come away with the victory here, 39-33. It's going to be a lot of offense in this one, 39-33. I'm going with the Chargers in this one. Could very well be the Raiders, but I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. All right. The Chiefs versus the Eagles. On one end of the spectrum with Kansas City, you've got Patrick Mahomes. And you've got that fantastic offense. Travis Kelce. They just picked up Josh Gordon to come and be basically, I'm going to say a reserve basically for them because they won't really need to utilize him that much at all this season. They've got so many ways to beat you offensively. The problem lies with the defense. But will Jalen Hurts be able to take advantage of that? I mean, because we saw how Dallas had him frustrated. I mean, I'd have thought that Dallas was the 2001 Baltimore Ravens out there the way that he was looking out there. I mean, it just there's a lot of confusion and stuff. I mean, he said that was on him, and so I'll take him at his word. That was on him. So will they be able to win at home? I don't think so. The Chiefs coming off a loss to, I'm gonna say Kansas City wins this one with the final score being 37-21. Chiefs over the Eagles. All right, the Browns at the Vikings. This one I think will be a really good game. One game that might actually potentially be an upset potentially. Now, I did say early on that I had the Browns being the top 3 team in terms of when I was doing my predictions before the season started. I still believe that. OBJ being back, it seems like Baker Mayfield's resorting back to old habits of trying to force feed him the ball. He's got to get away from that. But I mean, going down to Minnesota, whether it's Dalvin Cook, Morrison, it doesn't matter if Madison or not. It doesn't matter who's going to be in it running back. They're going to be able to run the ball. I like how the offense is moving for the Vikings right now. I think the Vikings are going to find a way here to upset the Cleveland Browns in this one and win 29-28. That's right, an upset here. Vikings over the Browns 29-28. And there's no disrespect on the Browns. I still believe in the Browns here. I just think this is an upset opportunity here for the Minnesota Vikings. All right, next up, Steelers versus the Packers. I remember after week 1, we always wondered what's wrong with Rodgers. Like, did he go too hard in the summer? Is his heart in the game? Well, I think he's shown us his heart's in the game, all right. And so him, Devontae Adams, I know he looked like he got a little banged up out there, but he was able to return. So that's good for the Packers. Their offense is really going lately. They were able to come up with that big-time win against the 49ers down at the 49ers. Meanwhile, the Steelers, right now, they're 1-2. Things aren't looking all that great right now. Big Ben, there's a lot of questions surrounding Big Ben. And just, how effective is he right now? That's the real question the Steelers are going to have to ask right now. I think going down to Green Bay is going to be a bit too much for them. I've got Packers winning this one. Final score being Green Bay 27, Steelers 16, 27-16. All right. Oh, man, this one is close to my heart, guys. We're talking about the Buccaneers versus the Patriots. I'm like, do I go with my head? Do I go with my heart? Well, you know what, guys? My head and my heart's telling me the same thing here. It's both telling me that Tampa Bay should definitely be the favorites in this game. But picking them is another thing. I mean, I know you never bet against Brady. You just never do it. Brady, he wants to go out there and he wants to beat the Patriots by 60 points. I mean, I'm seeing reports out there that Bill Belichick didn't even want to have an exit meeting with Tom Brady or anything like that. And so, I mean, that's just how Bill Belichick is. I accept him for who he is. I'm a Patriots fan first before anything. Appreciate what Brady did for the organization, but he's with Tampa now. Him, Gronk, AB, all those guys, what they did for us. We'll celebrate that one day when they're retired. But right now, they're coming in as foes, and I'm going to treat them as such. But with that being said, though, the way our offense is looking, I mean, we just lost James White for the season. That's tough. We don't have a true number 1 wide receiver. That's tough. Offense turn the ball over. I mean, Mac Jones right now, he's only got like 2 touchdowns. I mean, I know that everybody was hard on Cam Newton talking about he couldn't pass the ball. I know that's not the case, for Mac Jones, but my goodness, we really aren't really doing much in the passing game. So as much as I want to pick my team, and I will continue to root for my team, I got to say Tampa's going to win that one. And I'm going to go with the final score of Tampa Bay. I think they really try to rub it in. So I think Tampa Bay 39. You know what? Tampa Bay 29, Patriots 16. I think since New England's going to try to run the ball a lot, it's going to take away a lot of time of possession, so they won't be able to score nearly as many points as they would like. So Tampa 29, Patriots 16. Of course, this is one pick that I would love to be wrong. Believe me, guys. All right, so the Giants versus the Saints. After seeing that Saints defense firsthand against the Patriots and stuff, and seeing it's going to come down to, honestly, well, that defense is going to force Daniel Jones to make some mistakes, no doubt about it. And so I've got the Saints here beating the Giants. And I think the final score is going to be Saints. I'll give them 33 points, and I'll give the Giants more along the lines of about 17. So 33-17 Saints. They've got a lot of things to work with, Alvin Kamara and company. So, yeah. All right, so here's an interesting one. The Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, wow, both teams have looked good so far this season, but what hasn't looked good is the injury list right now for Carolina. Having lost J.C. Horn for a significant amount of time. Christian McCaffrey, looks like he won't be out there this week. But with that being said, though, Sam Darnold, he's looked pretty good so far this season. He's got to find a way to get Robbie Anderson involved. He's going to have to. Trading for C.J. Henderson, that was a must. They had to do that with this matchup with the Dallas Cowboys coming up. But I just can't see them going down to Dallas right now without Christian McCaffrey and being able to beat this Dallas team. This Dallas team is showing me a lot of things. They're making me reevaluate who I had picking to win that division, honestly, especially seeing how Washington seems to be struggling so far. But it's still early, so I'll hold off on switching that. But I will say this. The Dallas Cowboys, they are definitely a playoff team in my opinion. So I've got Dallas winning this one with the final score being Dallas. I'm going to go Dallas scores 34. You know what? Dallas scores 28 points in this one, while Carolina scores a modest 19, 28-19. In the end, no Christian McCaffrey makes all the difference. Okay, Detroit versus the Chicago Bears. I mean, who knows who's going to be starting the quarterback this week for the Chicago Bears? I don't. They don't know. We don't know. Medical staff don't know. Nobody knows who's good, who's not. We just don't know, honestly. And even if they did start, we don't know what to expect offensively. The offensive line, they're not blocking. They can't get the ball into Allen Robinson's hand, and so when this season's up, he's going to be looking to try to find somewhere else right now. I mean, it's just the offense. But if the defense can play like they did against Cincinnati, though, that'll give them a chance. I mean, if you can go out there and play good defense, that'll give you a chance. But I just saw the Detroit Lions just lose a heartbreaking match. Nobody's talking about it, but that was heartbreaking for Detroit to lose that way to the Baltimore Ravens. They played Baltimore tough. I saw them play the Green Bay Packers for one half extremely tough. I know that this is a game that you probably should think the Chicago Bears going to be winning, but I honestly don't even know who's going to be quarterbacking right now. So I can't pick a team with no offensive line. Don't know who the quarterback's going to be right now over the Detroit Lions. That at least I know Detroit's offense will probably go out there and score some points in this one. So I'm going to say Detroit wins this one 24-13 and get their first win of the NFL season. This one right here might potentially be enough to get Matt Nagy fired, possibly. Let's see. So that's a bold statement. Obviously, you never want anybody to get fired, but that's just the reality of sports. So, I'm going to go with Detroit in this one here on the road. All right, Washington versus the Falcons. Falcons coming off their first win. Both teams right now 1-2. Who's going to win? I feel this is the game where Washington's defense finally starts generating pressure on the quarterback, which would be bad news for Matt Ryan. And I think the Washington football team, Antonio Gibson, they finally start to utilize him a little bit more. I think that the Washington football team will win this one with the final score being Washington 24, Atlanta. I'm going to go Atlanta scores about 24-20. I think it's going to be a close game, especially going down there to Atlanta as well. But I think the Washington football team will win that one. All right, next up, the Seahawks versus the 49ers. Man, this will be a good one. This will be a good one, guys. This is a big one. Right now, the Seahawks, they cannot afford to drop 1-3 right now in that division. They cannot. They're going to bring their A game. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, those guys, they're going to be locked in. Versus the 49ers defense that just gave up 30 points to the Packers. I could see the Seahawks getting a good 27 points in this one. But the 49ers offense right now, Jimmy Garoppolo, he looks like he's struggling. Now, I know that it looks exaggerated because they lost and had they beat the Packers. I'd probably be saying something different. But the fact is, I'm not impressed right now with their running game right now as of last week. And I don't know how that running back situation is going to look this week. But if they're not able to run the ball at the level that they're used to having, that could spell trouble. So I could see the Seahawks going down there and beating the 49ers this week. 27-21, I think, will be the final score. Seahawks over the 49ers. All right, so the last game we've got up here, Cardinals, Rams, two undefeated teams in the same division, NFC West. Who wants to be the best of the West? Everybody's already saying the Rams are the best team, not just in the NFC. I've seen some people say in the NFL right now because they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now everybody's got their opinions, and so I think this Rams team, that's a great team. But I think this Cardinals team, I think they're very good as well. Hopkins and company, they're pretty good. But are they good enough to go down there to the Rams and take them on right now? That is the big question. And so I'm going to say, going down to LA, I got the Rams winning this one. That's right, guys. I think the Rams are going to find a way to win this game, but I think it's going to be a thriller. I think it's going to be a good one. The Cardinals are going to show up. They're going to show out, and they're going to fall just shy of pulling this one off. I think that the Rams are going to win this one with the final score being 27-20. 27-20, guys. Rams over this one. So there you have it, guys. There's a lot of potential for upsets here, for sure. I can definitely see the case for picking the Bears over the Lions. I can definitely see the case for picking the 49ers over the Seahawks. There's some teams out there. The Browns over the Vikings for sure. I can see that. Same with the Ravens over the Broncos, Raiders over the Chargers. Those are 50-50 games. Dolphins, Colts, But one thing's for sure, guys, we're going to have a great week of football, guys. So definitely appreciate you guys so much for tuning in for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts, which picks that you disagree with, which picks do you agree with. As long as you do it in a respectful manner, guys, then, hey, I'm all for it. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you do press the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, because I do a lot of sports content, a lot of news, a lot of live streams, play-by-plays, college football, NFL, NBA once that gets started, college hoops as well, all that on one channel, guys. So appreciate you guys so much, and see you guys next time.